Good evening, everybody, and welcome into a Network 216 exclusive. We are here to preview Browns training camp that begins next week. I am Tyler Johnson. I am joined by a lot of members from the network tonight. I am joined by Zach DeFranco, Jacob Roach, Eddie McDonald, Zach Caldwell, Nick Carnes, and Grant Puskar. Gentlemen, how are we doing tonight?
I think you still messed up his name, dude.
Okay, I gave it a try. That's what counts. All right.
The anticipation was mounting.
That was a terrible try.
Last.
I knew you were going to say it for last, too. I was waiting.
Anyways,
decided to talk some football.
Not pronouncing everything correctly. How are you guys doing tonight?
Phenomenal.
Yeah,
That's great. That's an icebreaker right there. I'll take it.
Before we get into previewing Browns training camp, I want to remind you guys that right now, Best Ball Mania 3 is going on with Underdog. And the best part about Underdog Sports that really sets them apart from DraftKings and FanDuel is the fact you actually get to draft your team. You're not using a salary cap to determine what players you can get. You get to draft your team firsthand and go against 10 other people in your particular league for a chance to win $10 million. And right now, if you deposit with Underdog up to $100, they will double your first deposit. If you use code 216 right now, you can get 4 free entries into Best Ball Mania 3. So be sure to enter code 216 so you can enter Best Ball Mania 3 for your chance of winning $10 million. Gentlemen, we've been waiting a long time for this moment, and that is football. We've been waiting for football season to resume. Browns training camp begins next week. How are you guys feeling about that? It's been a while. There's a lot of drama still going on with the Cleveland Browns, but how pumped are we just to have football back?
Hold up. I forgot about this, and I didn't say this to him today, and he just said it in there. Happy birthday to Mitch Metz.
Oh, happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Yeah.
I didn't know it was my wife's birthday today, too. So.
Oh, that's right. There we go.
Dude.
There we go.
Birthday, Mitch. Happy birthday, Mitch.
I'm great, by the way.
Watching CFL. Okay.
But I'm just like, how's everyone feeling about training camp so far?
Is it crazy that it feels like it's not real, but it also feels like that – like it feels like it's been the longest summer of our lives, but also like because of the, uncertainty at the quarterback position and all of those things. Then at the same time, you're like, I'll be in Cleveland in 6 days. Like I haven't been in Cleveland since October, So like, It's like, I'm going to be up there where, going to go to training camp. Then we're going to go out on the town. Mitch is going to be with us. He's going to be there with us actually. Okay. So we're going to have like a really good time. There's this one bar I went to one time while I was up there that had a really good chicken sandwich. And I really hope I get to go eat that chicken sandwich. I had chicken sandwiches during our network meeting before.
Literally just had 4 of them, dude.
Dude, but it was a really good. That's what you don't understand. It was a really good chicken sandwich. But that being said, this is the best roster the Browns have had in my lifetime. So I'm ecstatic.
Yep. I've been a Browns fan for my entire life. I just turned 30 this year. So I was born in '92. So I don't remember. I think actually probably most of us don't remember much of the old Browns except through what was passed down to us through family lore and fans before us that went to the games. So. I am super, super excited to see just what Andrew Berry has been cooking because it's starting to look mighty good. And I think we have a lot to be excited about. And we haven't really had a lot of good or fun to talk about in the off seasons. Deshaun Watson this, Deshaun Watson that.
Yeah.
However you feel about the situation aside, because we've all beat that dead horse until it's ashes. This is an exciting time. You get to find out, you see a lot of raw skill in these rookies. I am beyond excited to watch what the media comes out with on Perion Winfrey. If you guys have not watched tape on him, he is an absolute monster. I think he's going to be a formidable threat. And he's got that Cleveland mentality. I mean, you guys all saw the video of him reacting to when he was picked. I think he embraces the spirit of the city, and that's something that, fans can rally around. And boys, no matter what the Deshaun Watson ruling is, strap yourselves in because we got a banger of a season coming up.
It's going to be fun. I think
we're getting that decision tomorrow.
Yeah, I think we are. I really do think we are.
I said Friday in our spaces that it's coming Monday, and everyone's like, "Oh no, yeah, it's coming tomorrow."
Yeah,
and that's not first source either. I don't have sources. So don't.
There's been so many people going around saying they have sources, and then that doesn't end up coming out. The league owes it to us.
I'll tell you what, though. Like, I think all offseason we've had to spend all this time talking about everything off the field, right? And training camp is the first time you really start, like from the pictures to the videos to the reports, it's like you start to get to actually talk about football on the field again, right? And that is infinitely better. I think we can all agree as people that spend time on Browns Twitter that we need that. We need that right now. We need real football. So I can't wait. I know the rookies have already reported. I'm sure tomorrow we'll get all kinds of stuff. And that's just, it's fun, Like all of a sudden we're talking preseason games, not too long from now.
Jeff,
I tell you what,
Jeff gifted a sub to John the Baptist. I want to shout that out real quick before we keep going. I
want
to remind y'all that we are giving away 4 training camp tickets tonight on the live show. I believe we're doing it tonight. So 4 training camp tickets, subscriber only. If you are subscribed to the channel, we're giving away 4 tickets to August 5th's training camp. So
also, I want to remind people, you have to subscribe every single month. So if you were subscribed last month, I'm sorry to break this to you. You're not entered to win the training camp tickets unless you subscribe right now. And you can do that for free, like Ainsley said here, with Amazon Prime. So it's seriously a very simple thing to do.
Yeah, it's not auto.
Go knock it out. Go knock it out, guys. Like, it's very easy, and you're supporting us a lot. And I do want to add, we had a really productive meeting just before the show. There's a lot of content coming. We added Zach and Chuck's The Guardians podcast that we just added has been huge for them. So I want to give a shout out to them. They've been working their tails off since they got here.
Yep.
And also, there's going to be an announcement coming soon about another sports team. Oh yeah, I forgot. It is announced. Yeah, we are adding the Columbus Blue Jackets show. There's been a lot of buzz around the Blue Jackets. We've been waiting a long time.
Baby.
We've been waiting a long time for this city to be competitive in hockey, and it's going to happen. So there's a lot in Ohio State football Cavs. We're looking to add all those shows. You guys will have to make sure you're subscribed to the channel.
Yep.
We're going to have content at some point every single day for you guys. So subscribe. It's free with Amazon Prime, and you have a chance to win tickets to Browns training camp. Sorry, Grant. We had to get that out there.
No, it's all good stuff. Don't forget, guys, also,
can I add one thing real quick?
Through the network, I am going to give away 4 training camp tickets of my own. I tweeted it out a couple of days ago, but don't forget, guys, I am giving out 4 training camp tickets of my own. Not announced in the show tonight, but I will announce that winner July 30th. So be on the lookout for that. I can't say how many messages I get from people who can't make it to training camp every year. So make sure you guys look out for that.
Hey, speaking of training camp, is this the time that we tell them about the other giveaway, or is that another time?
I think they know about they were giving away 2 pairs of tickets, I believe. So, but yeah, they know about it. But tonight we're announcing the winner of the first set. So you guys will have other opportunities, but I would want to go to training camp as soon as possible if it was me.
Right away.
Just saying.
All right.
Just saying.
Going back.
Where is everyone at? Where is everyone
real
at?
quick before we start training camp.
Nick?
Real quick.
Yeah.
We were talking about content.
Yeah.
We just talk about shows. My show comes out, I think Tuesday, maybe. We haven't decided on official, but I think Tuesday is what we're going with. And the first guest is, Cleveland megastar, really, in the media world, Gab Gowdy. She was a guest before. She said that she would do it again. So that's going to be pretty cool. I'll tweet out something, to ask her questions. Please, if you're listening to this and watching this, please do not ask her anything that is gross or, absurd. Please ask her about.
Be nice to Gab, guys. Come on.
Cleveland sports or national sports, or you can ask her what her worst pickup line is. Because I know they just talked about that on their Unsportsmanlike show. But please, nothing like terrible. Just keep it sports,
Don't
please, or life.
A simp.
Yes, thank you.
Say it with me.
Yes. So I think that's Tuesday. If she says yes for Tuesday, then that's a go Tuesday. If not, then we'll make changes. So. Gab Gowdy, first guest of my relaunch on my podcast, which is the Teddy Eddie podcast. She's been on before, actually. She was on when she had her good game with Gigi. So that was pretty cool. And that was like her before she went on, but I think that's going to be a lot of fun. I hope a lot of people tune in because I think that she has a big following. And it's going to be a fun conversation. And you guys are all welcome. Whoever's in here is welcome to join as well. I just want to get out of the way before we start camp because we were just talking about content. I'm excited.
Thanks, that's gonna be awesome. You guys are gonna want to make sure you tune in for that. We're gonna announce also sometime during the week what the schedule is going to be. We're going to let you the show lineup. It's right now with it being summer, things fluctuate a lot. So that's why, I know with the Faithful Dogs, we've been on Thursday nights. That's been due to scheduling. We're hoping that'll change this week. But again, so just keep an eye on the Twitter. That's at network_216. If you guys aren't following already, be sure to do that. But I want to get in, of course, now talking about training camp here. The big news is David Bell going on the physically unable to perform /active list. What are your guys' thoughts on that? Because that was a reaction that a lot of people were very pissed when that happened. Some were like, you got to be kidding me. We didn't know about this injury. And what are your guys' thoughts on him going on that list? Is anyone worried about this, or is this just nothing that we should be worried about?
I'm not worried about a minor foot injury in July. I'm just not.
It'll be just fine.
It's certainly not something you want to see, right? But as long as it's minor, I don't think it's anything. These things are going to happen, right? It's just part of it. Yeah. So hopefully, David's fine and is there learning everything he needs to, because I'm hoping for big things from him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it was either Mary Kay or Cameron Justice, maybe both probably. They said that, it should be about 2 weeks. So I'm cool with that. You don't have to go out there and, do everything the first 2 weeks. That's more of like a walkthrough sort of, even though they did that with mini camp earlier. I don't think it's a huge issue. I'm not overly concerned.
I don't think there's a better way you can kick off Browns training camp. That's
there's a better way, but there's not a more original way.
And
that's a fair way to put it.
It's like a Cleveland Browns tradition. So we're just gonna roll with it.
As long as he's not mysteriously concussed for 3 weeks or however long that whole.
Yeah, it's not like he's sitting on a mysterious undiagnosed injury.
Right.
I think it's minor, and people on Twitter are barking, "Oh, I didn't like the David Bell pick in the first place," and get off of it. He'll be fine. Yeah. Give him a couple days in camp. See how he feels. These guys are the best in the business. These guys get the best medical care in the business. They have trainers that are reputable, that know what they're doing. He's going to be just fine, and he's going to be a beast. So
speaking of that, that's what I want to see the most is the training staff and how their procedures help the players. Because last year, was it John Johnson that kept saying, we need better?
Yeah, after the season too.
That's one of my biggest things looking into training camp outside of position battles.
Yeah,
that's actually a really good question.
Yeah, soft tissue issues.
The update on Conklin is it sounds like he is going to be on the physical unable to perform list, but they're not required to submit that yet. We got an update on David Bell, but Conklin will be. He's not ready yet. That's another reason why you brought back Chris Hubbard.
Yep.
Assuming Chris Hubbard can be healthy in 2 years.
If this David Bell injury lingers on, sometimes at the beginning of camp we see guys who do go on the PUP list. And again, I agree with most of you guys here. I'm not too worried about it, but if it lingers on, do we see the Browns potentially bringing in a veteran receiver? Because personally, I don't think that receiver – I'm not sold that receiver room is finished just yet. I think they add a piece or two there. There was rumors of, potentially bringing in, veterans all across the board. Will Fuller was talked about a lot. If this injury, lingers on and he doesn't turn to the field here soon, it's going to be interesting to see if they do bring in another name to try and help out the depth of this receiver room.
I was surprised because Ben Albright joined a lot of the Browns spaces as we were talking about.
He joined our podcast.
Yeah, he joined your podcast. I'm sorry.
You're fine.
You know what? He was so confident that wherever Deshaun Watson picked,
Will
Fuller was going to follow him, right?
Exactly.
And he said that multiple times. Very, and it's still Will Fuller's still out there, which is kind of strange to me as we get really close to camp. But that always made a lot of sense to me.
Hey guys, I apologize. I need to step out, so I'm gonna leave y'all to it.
You're
y'all
good,
crush it.
Eddie.
Appreciate you joining us, Zach. Appreciate you, man. Have a good evening. But going back to the wide receiver position, I think they could look at a veteran, but I also think they like a lot of these UDFAs they brought in. Isaiah Wesson is one that really comes to mind. It's hard to argue with those athletic traits he's bringing forward, but also Michael Harley Jr. There's a lot of buzz about that kid, and I have a feeling if they're worried about David Bell, I think Harley's the guy that they're going to give a shot to. I do. I think they like him a lot, and if David Bell's injury lingers, that opens up a spot for him potentially. I think David Bell will be fine because even at Purdue, he never really battled any injuries. So I think we'll be okay there. But I think Michael Harley's a name to watch on. We've talked about him before. This is Anthony Schwartz's time. If he really wants to have a role in this offense, right now is the time to go get that.
Harley is probably the. Go ahead.
I always thought Schwartz was a quarterback away. I mean, he's just, he's lightning quick, and I think, it's probably not going to be Watson right away, but once we get Watson in there, Schwartz is definitely going to open up the field. Him and David Njoku. I mean, once we get in the red zone, how the hell do we expect to stop Watson, Chubb, Hunt, and Njoku? Like, I don't know how the opposing defense is going to stop us. I mean, once we get in the red zone, we're going to be deadly.
Amari Cooper, dude. You can't leave out Amari Cooper.
One of the best routes.
Hey, Harrison Bryant, man. I don't know what it is, but Harrison Bryant in the red zone. Specifically
Harrison Bryant. Harrison Bryant, dude. That tight end 1, tight end 2 combo. You're going to see more 11, 12 personnel this year. You're not going to see 13 personnel as much anymore. I mean, obviously, you're still going to see it as Stefanski, but with Watson, dude, you have a quarterback that can open up the field like crazy. You might not even need a running back in the backfield most of the time. So it's going to be fun.
I still think about how.
Go ahead, Nick.
I'm sorry, Grant. I just to your tight end point. I still think about how Darren Fells went to Houston and had a great year with Deshaun Watson. Like he left Cleveland, went to Houston, and I think he caught like 4 touchdowns and obviously he's a nice player, but with Watson he really thrived. So I'm really excited about what our David Njoku and Brian could be.
And I'll say elevates. Go ahead, Jacob. No, go ahead, man.
I wanted to talk about Mike Harley because he was brought up. Mike Harley is the only guy on this roster that's a true slot receiver. Like, we're talking about David Bell potentially being, kind of that big slot. And I think that primarily in terms of the starter role, that is what he's going to do. He's going to probably be your primary slot guy. And I know Amari Cooper can slide in there and Njoku and Bryant can play in there. But if you're trying to look for a depth guy, like I wrote a piece on Mike Harley, like, that dude produced for 5 years at Miami, Florida, and go look at the quarterbacks. Now, don't get me wrong. Tyler Van Dyke, I think, is going to be really interesting this year at quarterback down there in Miami, Florida. But he didn't even start all. He didn't even start all of last year. Was it Derek King that was down there?
It was Derek King. He battled injury throughout his time at Miami. That's why he's in the NFL now. Is quarterback, running back, and wide receiver. That's what New England signed him for, is to play him at all three.
To do everything.
Yeah.
And so, like, he had a situation just that wasn't great down there at quarterback for him. But, like, all Harley does, like, I turned on Mike Harley, and, like, he can get, like, vertical more than you think. Like, he's like I think he's a 4.6 guy, somewhere 4.5, somewhere in that range. I can't remember exactly. But he gets a little bit more vertical than you think. But there's a lot of, and I know fans are going to be like, oh, I'm going to say this. This is a trigger word, guys. So I'm sorry. I'm going to say a trigger word here. But he has a lot of Jarvis Landry in his game. And that is to say that whenever you need, it is 3rd and 5, Harley's there for 6. It's 2nd and 14, he gets 7 or 8 so that it's a 3rd and 4 situation. He has a little bit of shiftiness. He's got a little fluidity in his hips. He can shake some guys in the open field, and he can get vertical. Not crazy vertical. He's like a 4.5 guy. But, like, I'm glad that you brought up Mike Harley because, like, this is exactly what this dude needed to be able to make this roster. I like Isaiah Weston a lot as the UDFA out of Northern Iowa. He's a 4.4 guy. He'll get real vertical. Mm-hmm. But, man, Mike Harley, man, you went to an awful situation and you just produced for 5 years. It's just like the same things we said about David Bell. He just got it done. That's kind of what Mike Harley did on a much smaller scale. He didn't produce nearly as much, but this is Mike Harley season because of the injury in my mind. That's the guy it opens it up for.
I agree.
I love bringing up all these small names because we like elevating play around you is something that the great quarterbacks do. I mean, you look at Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes. If you're really a great quarterback, you elevate the guys around you. I don't like bringing up Baker Mayfield's name because it just causes drama all across the board, but he wasn't elevating guys around him. That's why I love that, Jacob and Tyler, you guys are bringing up these names that people might be under the radar to a lot of people, because I think you're going to see a lot of these under the radar guys this season. You're going to see big names like Cooper and Chubb and all these big names produced, but Watson is going to bring the best out of everybody around him. Whenever anyone else on the field around him, you're going to see them produce. And so elevating play between these young guys is going to make them shine, and they might get to be able to get chances somewhere else down the road.
I think talking to, and that's a really good point, Grant. I want to go back to what you were talking about, though, when you get into the red zone, trying to defend all these weapons. I posted something about Kevin Stefanski, how he's one of the most underappreciated coaches in the NFL. And I firmly do believe this. And I had a lot of people come after me saying, well, he's terrible at managing a game. He's a bad play caller, so on and so forth. And my argument was you had a quarterback who he didn't fully trust, a quarterback who was fully injured. You can't, and people were complaining that we didn't run Nick Chubb all the time. The Browns ran for over 2,100 yards rushing. Now, Chubb ran for 1,200 of those. My point is they ran the ball plenty. When the defense is keying in on your running backs because your quarterback can't get the ball down the field, there's not much a head coach can do, and you can blame the head coach all you want for that. Kevin Stefanski as a quarterback, and I'm telling you guys, and I'm going to keep telling you, this is not going to be the same offense you saw last year. When you actually see it on the field, maybe then you'll believe me. But you're not going to see the same offense. This isn't the Panthers' new quarterback leading this team anymore. Offense. This is a Deshaun Watson-led offense, and it's going to look completely different. They're going to play to Watson's strengths, and I'm telling you, it's going to be fun to watch. And maybe then you guys are going to give Kevin Stefanski the recognition that he should get as a good head coach in this league.
Grant, are you going to throw a football at me?
I'm not. It is actually the football I got from the Father's Day event as being a season ticket holder. So,
hey,
okay,
I love it.
I'll be up there one day.
I just saw it. I was going to be a dick.
No, it was a good time. It was a good time. But going back to what Tyler was saying, I swear it was one of the first videos that the team released this year in terms of when the team was working out together. It was like a double, triple reverse. I know, Zach, I think you saw it too. It was like Watson, it was like a pistol formation with Chubb behind him, and Kareem Hunt was on the side, and he faked the handoff to Chubb, reversed it to Hunt. Hunt flipped it to somebody. It's just when they get in the red zone, to Tyler's point, I mean, Stefanski, I think he's going to shine this year once Watson sees the field. I mean, he got a lot of hate last year, and I think the hate that Stefanski got last year was just completely unwarranted. We were clearly, like Tyler said, I mean, there were so many games, once you take away the run game with Baker Mayfield, I mean, we couldn't throw. We couldn't go down the field.
And that's what you saw. You saw teams like the Ravens, etc. They were like, okay, let's just put 8 men in the box. Let's put 8 men in the box and let's stop the run. Make Baker beat us.
It wasn't even just – go ahead, Nick.
I just want to say, people forget that the Browns spent most of the year leading the NFL in rushing. Nick Chubb still finished second overall in the NFL in rushing.
And they were boxing him half the time.
They act like Kevin Stefanski forgot how to call plays.
They were
the more Baker Mayfield broke down. Baker Mayfield, I feel, hit a point where he just could not play football even adequately anymore, and that was when you really saw the run game fall off because teams were looking at his film and they were just saying this guy's not going to beat us, and so they just did everything they could to stop the run.
And this is the thing, and I won't do as much because I think Grant and Tyler have taken care of the attacking the Stefanski hate more than I don't need to do too much. I think you guys have done a phenomenal job, but Nick can attest to the many yelling, ranting sessions about the stupid Stefanski takes that I have attacked on our podcast. But the thing is, you saw not just these 8-man box, you saw these odd man fronts. These teams were playing 5-man fronts that the Browns could not deal with. Go look at the games where we didn't run the ball. Go look at New England. Go look at the Cardinals. Go look at Baltimore the first time, and they're playing these 5-2 fronts where they're playing these big athletic linemen and going one-on-one with our line, and there was nothing we could do about it because Baker couldn't simply beat you. And then you say he's calling these bad plays. Like, listen, they were 7th in the NFL in rushing attempts. I don't want to hear it. It's not like the only team that was really ahead of them was the Colts because they just ran Jonathan Taylor until the tires fell off. And don't get me wrong, I have him in fantasy, so let's do it again. But it's just like the play calling was working. People were open. Mediocre receivers were open. I've watched the film. I've watched the All-22. I've watched it over and it's over and over. And it's just like, I don't know what magic play you think he can do with a quarterback that can't make basic NFL level throws. I don't know what you think he's going to be able to do. And now you're going to give him a quarterback that can make throws that not everybody can make.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and he's mobile.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say, Jacob. Don't forget RPOs, guys. Don't forget the run pass options that we're going to see in this offense as well, because just from pictures alone, Tyler sent me a picture, I believe, very beginning of like when Deshaun first got there. And it was just a basic, you could tell Deshaun was reading a defensive end, and the ball was in Kareem Hunt's chest. Tyler goes, dude, we're going to see some run pass options with Deshaun Watson. I'm like, that didn't even cross my mind, dude, because you're not doing that with a Baker Mayfield. No offense. You're not doing that with a Sam Darnold. You know what I mean? Like, there's certain quarterbacks.
Kirk Cousins.
Yeah. But, I mean, Kirk Cousins can put up some nice stats, though. But
I like Kirk.
Yeah. But anyways, you're going to see an offense. I don't think any Browns fan from our generation has seen an offense like this. And then you talk about my dad's generation, dude. He got to watch, like, Bernie Kosar. But, like, this is going to be insane, man. It's going to be insane. I'm seriously so pumped for what we're going to see, even with Jacoby, with the offense, too, because Jacoby's he's not a fraud, bro. Everyone keeps dogging Jacoby, too, but –
you know what?
So many people just don't understand. It's not just the Browns trading for Deshaun Watson and making a franchise-altering move. It's trading for Deshaun Watson and unlocking a new level of Nick Chubb, unlocking a new level of Kareem Hunt, unlocking a new level of Amari Cooper. The offense,
Njoku can have his best year ever, dude.
Getting Deshaun Watson is one thing, but once he sees the field, we're really gonna see new levels, like you just said, Zach, that our generation and fans in a long time have not been able to see.
I just want to say, you know what? People act like the Browns can't win games with Jacoby Brissett. I looked up the stats today because I saw that so many times. And I was
Violence.
like, you know what? I'm just saying the Browns won 8 games, and by all measures, Baker Mayfield was a bottom 5 quarterback. When he finished last year, he just was. That's not a knock on him when he's healthy. It's just the fact of what he played last season. You go look at Jacoby Brissett's last full season when he was Indianapolis' starter. He threw 1 more touchdown, but the kicker is he threw less than half of the interceptions. And I think anybody who spent last year watching all those Browns games knows how many times Baker gave the ball away, and that was the end of the game. So my point is to say that the Browns won 8 games with Baker struggling terribly. I see no reason why they can't win with Jacoby. I really don't. And I'm not saying hopefully he's not for the whole season, and it doesn't seem like it's going to be that way. But I believe in the easiest part of the Browns schedule is early.
They did us a favor.
I think they knew. The NFL knew what they were doing. Let's be honest here. I mean, it would be awesome. Don't get me wrong. It would be amazing to see Week 1 matchup of Deshaun versus Baker. NFL would love that too. So it's not going to happen. I'm going to be realistic about that, but that would have been awesome. But come on, you look at the first 4, maybe even 6 weeks, and you go, okay, Jacoby can go 4-2, and if it's a 6-game suspension. So
we got a couple of comments over here. I'm gonna start with Tony's because I just saw them over here because a couple of them were
Tony Vitalio.
Yes, yeah, he's in the house. He said that he expects it to be a lot of RPO this season, lots of quick routes, slants usually come along with that. Also sets defenses up for the long ball down the line. It's going to be insane this season. Yeah, I love that. Dude, we saw that when the Browns were at their best in 2020 under Kevin Stefanski. We saw this misdirection and all these setups, these boots, these play actions. They would run these run plays, these wide zone run plays, and then run a boot action to the opposite field off of it, 2 drives later or whatever it was. And I think when Stefanski's at his best, he is setting people up later to do the exact same thing. Oh, wait, magic trick, sleight of hand. I guess I'm not doing the same damn thing. And I think that's really, I don't know, you were handcuffed last year, and now all the balls and chains are going to be off of you, and you're going to be free to do whatever it is that your mind thinks you can do because you have players whose ability matches the creativity of the guy calling plays.
Yeah, I mean, and that's really a good point with all this. And another thing, like just going back to Deshaun Watson, even Kevin Stefanski in Minnesota, he had Kirk Cousins, and it's not a slight to Kirk Cousins. Kevin Stefanski is getting a top 10, pretty much top 5 quarterback in the NFL here. He's never had a quarterback like this. So the amount of possibilities that he has at his fingertips, even a backfield, Nick Chubb, Deshaun Watson, Kareem Hunt, all in the backfield together at once.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's David Njoku, Nick Chubb in the backfield, Kareem Hunt, David Njoku, Deshaun Watson. I mean, there's endless possibilities with this, and it's going to be so much fun to see what they end up doing. I'm absolutely excited.
Top 5 line. I mean, sometimes you get these teams that are loaded. I mean, look at the Bengals. They're loaded on offense. They're similar to us in terms of weapons, and they had no offensive line that made it to the Super Bowl. Could you imagine if we had Watson last year? I mean, we have all these weapons and all these pieces, and we have a line. So, I mean, if we get Watson back in 6 games or less, look out. I know I'm not going to sit here and say the Browns are going to the Super Bowl, but, I mean, we are set up to where if he gets 6 or less, and like Zach said, they know what's up. Jacob, I saw him do the little money thing there. They want that money. They loaded our primetime games. We got that Halloween game, with Cincinnati, and that is what week is that? That week 9?
That's Halloween.
Halloween,
week
Week 8.
So we get
week 8.
Let's
so
do right.
There you go.
Better Halloween.
They would love the NFL wants nothing more than to have Watson in that game. So it's like I said, it's going to be exciting with that offensive line. I mean, it's not like the Bengals situation where he's going to be running for his life. He's going to have time to make any decision he wants, and the Browns are going to be in a really good spot when he gets back.
It's kind of ironic, this whole Deshaun Watson thing, is because the NFL obviously is seeking an indefinite suspension for him, which is what's been claimed. Yet the Browns' first 4 games are against teams that Jacoby Brissett should be able to beat.
Yeah.
The NFL might say publicly they want Deshaun Watson suspended for the entire season. They don't.
They don't.
They do not want Deshaun Watson suspended for the entire season because that man is much CTV. So
the quickest
just
way
throw that out there. That needs to be said.
The quickest way for him to clear his name, ironically as it is, the quickest way is for him to get back on the field. I mean, most of the cases are settled. The quickest way for him in the NFL to move on and for him to clear his name and to try to clean up that image is for him to get back on the field, win games, and people will, not everybody, but, people will forget about it in terms of protecting the shield. So that's the quickest way for everything to start moving forward.
Yeah, and, I mean, as far as going into training camp, what is your guys' biggest worry with this team right now? What is the area that you're really concerned with? For me, we probably might all agree on this. It's the defensive tackle position.
Yeah.
I mean, there is no
Yeah.
I'm not – okay, I love Perrion Winfrey. I love the energy he brings. You're telling me that man's going to go out and just automatically be just a complete stud in the NFL right away? He might be, and if he is, great, fantastic. But outside of that, what, Jordan Elliott, Tommy Tote, what are we doing at defensive tackle? That's the thing. I'm not convinced right now what we're doing there. I'm not, because I'm really worried about that position.
I'm not convinced about all these people saying that Ndamukong Suh still could be coming here. I'm not convinced about that at all.
No,
I don't know if it's true, but I saw rumors about Sheldon Richardson coming back. I don't think that's even going to happen. I really don't. Andrew Berry, it seems like that's one position in particular where he doesn't really want to throw big money at or like a bag at. Like, you're not going to see him pay unless he had an Aaron Donald at that position. So I don't know. I think he likes the young rookie contracts on there, young guys. Perrion Winfrey, I think, is going to be very solid. But like Tyler said, you can't really expect a rookie to come in and just make a huge difference on the interior defensive line and be that guy alongside Myles Garrett and Jadeveon Clowney, which makes your life easier. But still, it's like, okay, go out there and just, make a difference at defensive tackle. Be the leader basically instantly at defensive tackle. So
of all the draft picks Andrew Berry has made, I think you could say Jordan Elliott is one of the ones that he needed to succeed the most. And because he's kind of struggled to this point, they haven't put a lot of draft capital in there. Like, you've taken Tommy Togiai but really, I mean, Jordan Elliott is the highest pick you've used on the defensive line, and I imagine that came with expectations, I'm sure. And so we'll see it's a really big year for him, right? Because this is his 3rd year. Yeah, this is his 3rd year now. And I would imagine it's probably make it or break it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing with the defensive tackle position is you're so young at the position. Sheldon Richardson could be because Jack Duffin was saying it would be probably about like $2.5 million for a year. If you can convince Sheldon Richardson to come back, I mean, the way that whole thing ended, he was not happy. He was not happy with how the Browns handled that situation. I don't know if they're going to bring him back, how that would work. I don't see Ndamukong Suh, no matter how many times people try and speak that into existence. I don't know why we didn't bring back Sheldon Day. Like that one, I'm a little confused.
Sheldon Day's on the roster.
Oh, he is? Okay. I must have missed that. But I don't know. I'm not very confident in that particular position. I think the other position, too, that worries me just a little bit is the wide receiver position. I think we can all agree on that.
Yeah.
Schwartz has to take that jump. Because if he doesn't, that position then really scares me if Schwartz doesn't take that jump.
Schwartz is what I've called him the linchpin to taking the offense to the next level. If he can get vertical and just threaten people. Yeah. I was on Sports for CLE last week, and I was talking to the host Dave Bacon, and he said, Schwartz doesn't even need to be. He just needs to do 2 or 3 here and there. He doesn't need 10 to 15 catches a game. He needs 2 to 3 where he either catches it or almost catches it. Maybe it's a bad throw or something like that, to where he's threatening people vertically. That's it, man. You just need to go on a couple go routes where Watson or Brissett fling you the ball and you get open 2 or 3 times a game, and he's going to make a big difference.
I'll tell you, one of the more under-the-radar type concerns I have is that this Deshaun Watson decision is going to leak into camp. And I just hope that the Browns can enter camp with a clear idea of, okay, Deshaun, you're suspended this many games. This is how we're going to prepare Jacoby Brissett and you to have you both ready for those points in time, right? Because if you're still unclear, like say you're a week into camp or whatever, and you're still unclear about how long he's going to be suspended, I think it messes with your whole preparation and how you want to bring both guys along.
Can I, real quick, about the defensive line, and then actually I want to read you guys an excerpt.
Expert.
That is an expert. Damn it. Anyway, I want to read you a little piece of Mary Kay's article today because I learned something today about the Watson suspension that I did not know, and I'm intrigued to see if you guys knew. Okay, first thing about the defensive line. I was doing Nick and Ed and I will be doing our 53-man roster predictions on Tuesday's show at 8 p.m. live here on Twitch.
My champion's belt from last year.
Yeah, I'm going to kick your ass, all right? Anyway, I have also written up, it'll come out tomorrow for Dogpen Daily if you want a sneak peek of what I'm picking, but I will go more in depth of it. But I was writing this up, and when I was looking at the offensive line or defensive line, I ended up with 6 edge players and 4 tackles. And my explanation for this is that I kept Isaiah Thomas, the 7th-round pick out of Oklahoma, because he has inside-outside flexibility. Mm-hmm. Alex Wright has that flexibility. Jadeveon, and everybody knows what I think about Mr. Alex Wright. And Jadeveon Clowney has that flexibility, and Myles Garrett has that flexibility. You're looking at 4 of your ends, your DNs, who have the experience and skill set to play inside, and I really think they're going to supplement it because I think they're going to keep 4 of them. Maybe Sheldon Day sneaks onto the roster, but I really think that it's Elliott, Bryan, Togiai, and Winfrey, and they're just going to – I don't think they care if teams run it up the middle on them. I don't think they care at all. That's what their acquisitions show us. The only one, and watch his name, he's a UDFA out of one of their favorite colleges that Andrew Berry brings.
I know where you're going with this.
Mr. Glenn Logan out of LSU. He is the only body type. Well, Sheldon Day is kind of in that range too. He's the only body type in that room that says run stuffer. The rest of them are just dudes that get after the quarterback.
Mm-hmm. What is it with LSU and the Browns and Andrew Berry?
I don't know, man. Loves it. What's up, Brent?
Talking about the defensive line, one thing I find interesting in it, I loved everything you said there, but Tack McKinley's another name. Brad Stainbrook reported on a little bit the other day. Quote from his tweet: Tack McKinley is doing great rehab-wise. Brad was told he's transformed his body and is on a mission to be an impact player this season. There's mutual interest between him and the Browns, and the plan, according to Brad, as of now, is to join the team during camp if possible or during the season. So I think that's something to keep an eye on here. I think, he was great in his role last year, and I would love if he could come back and provide another spark on the defensive line because, Tyler, I'm with you, man. The defensive line is the biggest area of concern for me this year. So Tack McKinley, Jacob, is something that I'm excited to see if he can come back and, if he's right and, if he is right, then I think we have another big boost that could be coming in, the middle of the season, which would be cool,
Fresh legs.
we run it with these guys, see how it goes, and then fresh legs. It would be something that would help this team out a lot. So.
And I want to give you guys a reminder here. You got less than 5 minutes. If you're not currently subscribed to the channel, there's a crown. If Jacob points his finger down, there's a crown that is on your screen. All you have to do is click that. Yep, right there. You click that crown. It'll resubscribe you for free with Amazon Prime. That's all you have to do.
You know the best part? I can't see it. I'm just pointing.
I'm used to Jack telling me that's where to point. So I'm telling you.
Oh, yeah, it is there. Jack's right, dude.
You can
I wish I was lying.
You can subscribe free with Amazon Prime. You want to win tickets to Browns training camp. I know you do, especially a lot of you who haven't even been to Browns training camp, and you can go for free.
So Browns jersey on again. What's not to like?
Exactly. Just subscribe. You have less than 5 minutes to do so.
Going back to what Nick said at the very beginning, I'm not one to dive deep into much, but Deshaun Watson looked awful happy in the first pictures that got released. Yeah.
Listen, people went after Nick so hard after that.
He looks awfully happy. I mean, I don't think that the Browns and Watson have no idea what's going on. They know what's up.
That's a good point.
Grant, I got a question for you, man.
Thank you, Josh. We appreciate that support.
What would bring about a happy reaction from Watson from the NFL? What do you think that would be? Obviously, we don't think it's going to be 0. I don't think so.
It's not. No.
Do you think it's 2? Do you think it's 4? What do you think's going on there, bro?
Jacob's got a spot on. A happy reaction is 6 or less, anywhere there. If he gets 6 games, I know I don't want to touch on it too much again, but like that. That's a win for him. I mean, it just is,
I think so.
He just looked awfully happy in those pictures. I don't know. And the fact that, obviously they're going to roll with him into, training camp as the number 1 guy, but people were, writing up on reports on it. The Browns haven't been acting like Watson's going to get this massive suspension. You would think if they knew what was up and they were going to get this, the NFL was going to get the hammer down. Yeah, they would either be doing their research a little bit more or, they would be giving the guy like Jacoby Brissett a little bit more first team reps. So obviously camp is yet to start, but I think there's something there in that. I think he looks awesome.
Wouldn't you, if you were expecting it to be lengthy, wouldn't you want Jacoby Brissett to be getting as much time as possible?
And he hasn't gotten first team reps. They have all gone.
Exactly.
Yeah,
he has not.
Yeah. Listen, I want to tell you guys this because I don't know if you guys read much of Mary Kay.
I know where you're going with this.
I know. Yeah, Nick is blocked by Mary Kay, so
I am too, bro.
But anyway, this is funny, and I'm just going to read. This is directly from her article she posted earlier today. It's titled "Deshaun Watson Practices Saturday with Rosen." Blah blah. Blah. Yeah. So anyway, she published this at 5. What? I feel like it was earlier, but anyway. She said the last sentence right here before before we talked about chosen Rosen is in the seemingly likely event he's suspended under personal conduct policy for accusations of sexual misconduct with at least 24 massage therapists, Watson will be permitted to practice with the team until the week leading up to the September 11th opener in Carolina. Here's the interesting part. According to the collective bargaining agreement, he'll also be permitted to attend the team facility halfway through his suspension and participate in limited activities. Now, the last time I can remember somebody really being suspended for your Browns was one Joshua Gordon, and that was a really, really long time ago. And I don't remember that being the case then, and maybe it was, maybe it's new. I don't know. But that's really interesting that say it's 6 games, that after week 3, he can participate in some activities. So he can begin building that familiarity with his teammates again. Obviously, he's not going to get a ton of reps because, you want to give the reps to the dudes that are playing the game. But some people talk about there being rust. If he's able to participate for a few weeks before the first game he plays in, and he probably can't go, it says limited. So he might not even be able to go on the field. I don't know. But he's able to be around his teammates for a couple of weeks. I think that's actually a relatively big deal as far as a somewhat quote-unquote seamless transition.
I just want to clarify. I'm not laughing. You started reading the Mary Kay report. You called Josh Chosen Rosen?
Yeah, it's Chosen Rosen. You've never heard? It's Chosen Rosen.
He's the chosen one.
That caught me. I've never heard it before.
Chosen Rosen.
All right.
We finally have our franchise quarterback.
I also thought it was funny how people tried to, correlate chosen Rosen signing with the Browns to a lengthy suspension for Watson.
God,
I mean, even if Watson was suspended for 6 games, you're telling me the Browns are going to enter those 6 games with just Dobbs and Brissett? Like, they're not going to do that. So I thought it was pretty funny. You know, people were trying to put those.
You always have 4
Yeah,
arms.
absolutely. All the time.
You know, it's like people forgot the Camp Darling Brogan Roback existed.
Oh, Brogan Roback. I'm
Hey,
surprised I remember his name today.
They always have someone extra, right? And everybody loved Brogan Roback. Well, I had a couple people asking me, like, oh, does Rosen mean that Watson's getting suspended long? And I'm just like, you have literally – nobody remembers that they bring in guys to camp every year.
Exactly, Nick. And before we announce the winner of the training camp tickets, I just want to remind you guys, we got a lot of you guys watching us on a Sunday evening, so appreciate you all spending the time with us. I just want to remind you guys about Underdog Fantasy Sports. It's the best and easiest way to play fantasy sports, especially for season-long drafts. There's no waivers or trades. And the way that it works, and I know Jacob's been dealing with this too, it's a lot of fun because the way it works with Best Ball Mania, you'll draft your team. It's going to pick your highest scoring player from each position. So you're not going to have to set your lineup every week. They basically are going to do it for you. And the great news is whatever you deposit right now, they're going to deposit up to $100 as well of bonus cash. So I deposited $10 about a week and a half ago. They gave me $20. And that's awesome. And that's what Underdog has going right now. Be sure, enter code 216. It's very simple, guys. All you have to do, get on the app. I posted a video on my Twitter account. That's at T_Johnson_TJ. It's the pinned tweet. Very simple. It takes legit less than 2 minutes. You enter code 216, enter in some of your information, create your account, and you're good to start drafting. So be sure to go do that right now. Go to Underdog Fantasy either online or on the app and enter code 216 and see if you can take us down in fantasy football this season. So go get at it, guys.
I've got a $10 10-person league going head-to-head with me. If you're interested, DM me at Roachism13 and get in on the action. Right. Don't do what I did. Listen, I didn't tell my wife that I did this. But I signed up with Underdog, and I went to put $25 in there.
Oh, God.
And I put $125 in there. But they matched. They gave me an extra $100. So here we are. That's what happened. That happened last week.
That explains why you're doing so many drafts now.
All right, throwing them out there. Listen, so I picked the winner here for the giveaway, but I'm not going to give it to him because the winner was Nick. So I'm going to do it again. I'm going to do it again.
Yeah, I'm feeling lucky.
I'm going to do it again. Okay, we got it.
It's gonna be tight.
There we go. We got Mr. Katopka. Mr. Katopka is the winner.
All right.
Is the winner of the.
Good for you.
Congratulations.
I don't know if he's in here with us right now.
I hope he is.
But Mr. Katopka, you are the winner. I don't see him.
Well, we'll have to find a way to. Do we know who it is? Like, do we know who it is?
I don't know. No, I've talked to him many times, but I don't know.
All right.
Well, we will DM him then.
Yeah, we'll have to get in touch with him for sure.
I think I have him on Twitter, actually.
Okay, there we go.
Jeff says recount. Yeah.
I had to do a recount. I had to do a recount there.
Jeff, you are in luck because we will be giving away more tickets, just not today.
Yep, and it's another reason you guys want to make sure you subscribe. Again, it's very easy. There's a crown right below Jacob. All you gotta do is click that crown. And you subscribe for free with Amazon Prime. And remember, guys, you have to do it every single month.
Well, I think you can subscribe for like 3 months, with Amazon Prime. But once the 3 months is up, it doesn't resubscribe for you. You have to do it yourself.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Every month it's just a click of a button for you,
Mm-hmm.
I would do it for you, but, I'm not logged into your account, so I can't do it for you.
Amazon's like
simple.
Katopka,
Amazon's we'll give you $5 free, but you got to click for it.
What was the day on those tickets?
August 5th.
August 5th. All right.
Don't forget, also, guys, I'm going to have 4 more I'm going to be giving away. I'm probably going to throw them in with the network so that way you guys can all, if you're not following me on Twitter, you guys can't all see. I'm going to have 4 more August 2nd, which is Tuesday, session 3. So make sure you're in on that. I mean, Network 6 is giving training camp tickets out left and right, so make sure you guys all get in on it.
Very true, very true. A lot of giveaways, and even when training camp's over, that doesn't mean the giveaways end. So, but the thing is,
a jersey at 500 followers.
Yes,
you have to be subscribed. That's the other thing, though. You have to be subscribed to the channel.
Here's the thing. So we're giving away August 9th tickets, training camp tickets, and that will be announced July 31st. Like Jacob said, 500 followers on Twitch. That's followers. 500 followers on Twitch, we were giving away a jersey. But if you're subscribed, you might get some extra entries into that,
Yeah.
So
double entries.
I'll share.
Yeah. Subscribers get the perks.
Subscribers get
also the perks. Before we head out tonight, we should make an announcement for you guys. The YouTube channel, there is going to be content that we're going to be coming out with every single day on there in some capacity. Whether it's Browns, Guardians, Cavs, Ohio State, Blue Jackets, you name it. It might even be a 5-minute video every day. We're going to have content on the YouTube channel every single day.
Every day.
And for the record, it's free to subscribe with YouTube. All you got to do is click the subscribe button. That's all you have to do. So be on the lookout for even giveaways from the YouTube channel as well. Very easy to subscribe on YouTube. So just wanted to throw it out there because the content's not just going to be flowing from Twitch. It's not just going to be flowing from podcasts that you can listen to in your car. It's not going to just be flowing from Twitter. It's going to be flowing from YouTube too. So content every single day for you guys.
Josh, I got your question. What is your Twitter handle? My Twitter handle is @Grant_Pushcar_. Last name is Puskar. So that would be @Grant_Puskar_. And you'll be able to find them. The tickets are in my pinned tweet, so you'll be able to find them pretty easily.
And my dog just came out to the living room, so I think you know what that means.
My dog was barking earlier, so that was mine.
I think that's the sign that
international sign that
it's time to sign off here. But before we do, I just want to remind you guys we are going to be releasing the network schedule on Twitch for the week sometime tomorrow. So just be on the lookout for that. We're going to get that all settled. But again, can't thank everyone enough for all the hard work that we put in as a network, but all you guys that are subscribed to the channel, even if you aren't subscribed to the channel and you just follow the channel, we appreciate that as well too. I mean, like I was talking in our network meeting today. Right now, we have more followers than Pro Football Network. And you guys, I'm sure a lot of you guys are very familiar with Pro Football Network. So I just want to thank each and every one of you, even if you're not a subscriber. The fact that you're following this channel, we really appreciate that. We appreciate all the support, guys. And I'm telling you, this is only I promise you, this is only the beginning, and the best is yet to come.
The most valuable thing you can give anyone is your time. And so we appreciate anybody that took the time to be here. I think we're about wrap. Are we good?
Does anyone else have anything else they'd like to add before we
subscribe free with Prime? There you go.
Gang, gang.
All right. Well, I'm Tyler Johnson. That's Zach DeFranco, Jacob Roach, Nick Carnes, and Grant Puskar. This has been the network.
You had another chance. You had one shot.
0 for 2.
0 for 2.
The dog is in the way. I'm losing. But anyway, thank you all.
Accurate as Baker.
You're 0 for 2 like Ernie Clement was today.
Oh, man. It's Odell's fault. But anyway. Thank you all for tuning in to your Network 216 exclusive. We will talk to you all again soon. Go Browns, baby.